every so often they let the mask slip. So, for example, Representative Summer Lee, who's a full-on radical from Pennsylvania, she's like, no, I think she's going to be kind of radical. I actually don't think that she's going to be a centrist.
I know you are a progressive Democrat. Do you think that this pivot to the center, particularly in issues like the border and immigration and crime, are they going to hurt support for the Harris-Walz ticket, or is it what's required?
Yeah. So I have to say, and I like to hope that we're able to do this. I have to disagree a bit. I think that we have data, we have polling, we have anecdotal evidence from Americans all over the country, but especially I'm in Pennsylvania, in a swing state, where we're not actually asking for our candidates to run away from progressive ideals. We're asking them for them to run to them.
So the dirty secret is she is going to govern as a far leftist. Of course she is. That is what she wants to do. That's what Joe Biden has done. Now, the reason they have to obscure all of that is that the policies are trash. So, for example, you recall that just in the last couple of weeks, she had her aides and then she actually trotted out a proposal to end inflation by targeting price gouging. Price gouging does not exist in the grocery industry. This is trash. It's stupid. The actual profit margin in the grocery industry is somewhere between 1% and 2%. This notion that somewhere in the back room, the folks over at Ralph's and at Publix are gathering together to jack up the price of a loaf of bread to $100 is absurd. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievably stupid. But here are Democrats who endorsed her price gouging plans because this is the way that it works. She says something dumb. The entire Democratic Party then rushes to defend it.
What do you think of the price gouging ban that you put out there? Republicans are saying they're price controls. What would be your answer to that?
No, they're not price controls. But take a look at the profit margins in the making food companies.
What would be your take?
I think what Kamala's trying to say, and what she has said basically, is how do we deal with the issues of inflation? And how do we keep food prices down? We've made great progress on inflation.
Yeah, it's not price controls. I mean, it was a Republican idea. Wage and price controls goes back to Richard Nixon. This is not that.
Look at them trying to spin it. They're trying to spin it. They're trying to spin the price gouging. We totally endorse what she says. I mean, it's really stupid, but we endorse what she says. I mean, they're just trying to get inflation under control. Folks, our friends in Israel need our help now more than ever. If you're looking for a tangible way to support the Holy Land, you need to check out Artza Box. Artza brings the essence of Israel right to your doorstep. Every 3 months, you receive a carefully curated collection of authentic Israeli products, a treasure trove of handcrafted gifts, beautiful artwork, delicious foods, aromatic spices, and more. It's like taking a journey through the land of the Bible without even leaving your home. Here's why Artza is really special. With tourism at a standstill and many Israelis displaced, your subscription directly supports small businesses and charities in Israel. You're not just getting amazing products, you're providing a lifeline to real people who are struggling right now. Each Artza box is designed to connect you with the rich history and culture of Israel. Let me tell you, it has become a favorite in the Shapiro household. My kids love exploring every new box that arrives, learning about Israel's heritage, tasting the flavors of the Holy Land. It's great stuff. Use code BEN10 at artzabox.com for 10% off any subscription plan. It's a beautiful gift for your family. It's a great way to deepen your connection to the Holy Land. Most importantly, it's a blessing for the people of Israel when they need it the most. Head on over to artzabox.com right now. Use code BEN10 for 10% off. Trust me, you will love what you receive and you'll be making a real difference. That's artzabox.com, promo code BEN10. Support Israel in a tangible way. Get your Artza box today. Here is the problem. The minute they actually get called on the policies, they fall apart. So Senator Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren is just an amazingly tragic story of what happens when an interesting person goes into politics. Because Elizabeth Warren, if you go all the way back to the early 2000s, she wrote a book called The Two-Income Trap, which is kind of fascinating, in which she, for example, suggested there should not be universal pre-K, in which she suggested school vouchers. And then she decided to run for senator from Massachusetts and run as female Bernie Sanders. And she's been doing that ever since, while also pretending to be Native American, of course. Well, she was questioned on CNBC about her price gouging proposals, which of course are incredibly stupid. And here is CNBC's Joe Kernan just ripping her up.
It's not good policy, and it could actually do more harm than good. And I can paint you a picture of how that would work and how it's worked in the past, where we've tried to artificially hold prices down. Competition doesn't come in. People don't, like if beef is too high, people don't move the chicken. The competitors don't come in to undercut where the beef prices are. Nothing works when you try to artificially control prices. It's just a supply and demand issue. It's a flawed idea.
So did you have a question here?
Yes. Why would you propose a flawed idea when the real problem,
so let me
if you
ask
really
the
want to
question.
help the middle class, if you really sincerely want to help people having trouble at the grocery store, it's not price gouging that's the issue.
Okay, this is the problem. Every time they mention a policy, it turns out the policy is trash. She has also promoted the idea that we should hand out, for example, $25,000 per first-time house purchaser, which inflates the price of housing. Here's Chuck Schumer defending that.
Senator Schumer, what's your message to Gen Z?
Gen Z, Harris understands, Walz understands your problems. Down payment for a house, $25,000. All the folks who can afford the monthly payment but can't afford the down payment, we're coming to help you.
Free money. Free money. That's the campaign platform. Don't worry, it's not going to cause inflation. Free money. Meanwhile, it turns out that if you actually hold her accountable for her own positions on, say, Afghanistan, that's bad too. She cannot be linked with her positions. The minute that you link together the machine positions of the Democratic Party with the fresh coat of paint, she's got a problem, which is why she's avoiding all of this. Here's Representative Pat Ryan, Democrat from New York. He's asked about the fact that she says she was the last person in the room when it came to the withdrawal from Afghanistan, the disastrous withdrawal. Pat Ryan had ripped into that withdrawal, and he has asked, so do you hold her responsible? Watch him spin.
The vice president says she was that last person in the room on that decision. Is that failure also hers?
We've got to stop assigning partisan blame on fundamental things like our national security. I said it as an American. I said it as somebody who served in combat, who had friends that served in Afghanistan. If we can't make mistakes and wrestle with that with a little bit of space to do better in the future, how do we expect to continue on the next 250 years as this great country that we are?
It's just pathetic. Again, the minute they're called on their positions, they have to either reverse the position or they have to spin like crazy, which is why Kamala doesn't want to answer any questions whatsoever. For example, Bernie Sanders yesterday, he is asked about the fact that suddenly Kamala Harris is strong on the border. What the hell happened? What the hell happened? We had 3.5 years of wide open borders and you guys talking about decriminalizing border crossings. Kamala Harris, when she was a senator, voted against federal law preventing sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. Kamala Harris, while she was vice president, openly talked about decriminalizing border crossings. And here is Vice President Harris now. She's now switched her position. Now she's a border hawk. If you watch her commercials, not only is she a border hawk, she shows herself with Trump's border wall. Bernie Sanders is asked about this. Watch him spin.
We have a crisis at the border. We've got to make sure the fentanyl does not get into this country. We have to crack down on illegal immigration. But what we need is comprehensive immigration reform. I mean, you got God knows how many young people in this country as a result of DACA who deserve to gain citizenship. We need skilled workers, and we need workers in this country. A lot of labor shortages all over America where immigrants can play an important role. So keeping people from illegally entering the country obviously is the right thing to do.
Wow, now it's the right thing to do. Look at that. They all just flipped their position. Well, the good news for the Democrats, they can always count on the media to cover for everything, for literally everything. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.